Just sit and just sit. Um, you guys that's just watching now, like the pre-recorded episode. Let me see. Let me try to go back to where is it? There's wrestling news and bits of drama going on wrestling wise. Then you have talk about the cast of Avengers Doomsday, but the other news we're gonna talk about later on. So I wonder if y'all like wrestling fans out there. So how do y'all feel about the TNA firings, especially with it mainly like with people that was backstage that got let go, like their Hall of Famer Gail Kim. So
Let him go, let him go. We are done with them, let him go.
that's basically what they probably did. So let
I
me.
don't like Gail Kim anyway. She irritated me.
You talk about when before she went back to TNA.
Yes.
Oh, they really didn't do much with her in WWE the second time around.
Good. Let her go. Get the fuck out my bed. What? Before you get slapped.
It's like you said, or you get slept.
Slapped.
I know you said slap, but it sounded like you said slept. Like, gonna be sleeping?
Oh, doing something, that's for damn sure.
So, yeah, the recent release of a number of backstage workers and producers, including TNA Hall of Famer Gail Kim, a major restructuring left many in shock and has resulted, in the town's relations department being run by Tommy Dreamer and the creative side of the organization run by the wrestler Delirious. So that's probably I'm glad you are.
What?
Like I'm still here. But yeah, that's where Delirious had been too. So I'm just wondering like why he hasn't been, back in Ring of Honor. And I know he did a stunt in TNA, so I guess they asked him, to guess be creative. Didn't even know that. So according to Fightful Select, um, Ronnie Glazer in marketing and Sebastian Dastrodron were also let go. Let's see. Ariel Shelter's depart was one of many expected. Let's see. As he was noted to have some issues during a visit to WWE NXT. Oh, a former teenage digital department head, Michael Shagzizio, has was praised for his help in making the company's streaming platform valuable. Okay, so okay, so I guess they're saying he's gonna still stick with the Yeah, I'm good. What time do you work tomorrow? Well, you might as well say I'm working now. uh,
You're off tomorrow. You keep your house running down while I'm out at a funeral, so.
yeah, there may be some videos that we posted out tomorrow. There's probably be a few things that's probably gonna be interesting to talk about. But yeah, okay. So they saying that guy's gonna be there until April 30th, and he's gonna get let go. And wow, it's like we knew a change was coming when they let go of Scott Demore as being the president of TNA, and yeah, let him go. And thanks to Scott Demore, TNA is like back where it's supposed to be. But I'm not saying like these new people in charge ain't doing a good job, but just surprised that they decided not to keep some people. But y'all got any thoughts about it? You can just comment on there. What y'all think about the TNA firings? So just let me know. We're gonna move on to some other news. So look for your news. You can look at Wrestling Incorporated. So check them out on their website, wrestlinginc.com. Um, Backstage report suggests a return of a special. Okay, so they putting this out more and more. So let's see what. I was about to laugh. He was saying at first the site can't be reached. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. We kind of talked about that in the first place. So it's reporting. It seems like they're reporting it more and more that they're gonna do the Evolution pay per view, which was if y'all were not familiar with it, it's a all women's PLE, I should say. The first one they had was in like 2018, and I don't know why they didn't like continue it. But then again, you had like the head idiot in charge, but y'all probably know who that is because he's there no more. But yeah, excuse me. So it's gonna be if if it's when they name it official or anything like that. Hey there, Emiliano, Emiliano. I'm sorry. Um, they're thinking holding it in Connecticut July 5th. Um, so I'm thinking that we gotta we gotta thinking that Money in the Bank will be in June 7th, which most likely is looking like it's going towards LA, and I don't know how California ended up getting two PLEs, big PLEs in a year. I don't know, but that's a different story. Um, so they probably just more focus on WrestleMania. Maybe they'll announce some things coming up slowly, like in the summer, because normally they had like last year they had like two PLEs in May, three if you want to add the battleground. No, the battleground PLE was in June. I'm sorry, they didn't on NXT didn't have anything in May, but there's oh yeah, there still will be two. You have Backlash, then you had Saturday Night Main Event, then you had the PLE of NXT, which will be Battleground. So yeah, right now it seems like they are like a little bit all over the place. So just insane. So so it looks like Milwaukee would probably not get Money in the Bank. It'd be funny if out of nowhere they said like we ain't going there, LA. We coming here. I don't know. We can just hope. But Sports Milwaukee here was trying to make the bid and don't have any news since, and don't know what's going on. Let's see. Independent wrestler from Chicago. If y'all know who she is, Maggie Lee. She's exclusively signed to TNA. I know that was all out there, so you know. Okay, see you later, Robert. Let's see. Oh yeah, other news. Saraya, as y'all know, formerly known as Paige in WWE. I guess what they did where her in AEW, they just let her contract expire, and I'm thinking that she probably just didn't want to re-sign with them. So that's my guess, and that's from like what it seems like. Well, she did do say something on her podcast. She also have does her podcast on Twitch as well. So you guys like on there, check it out. Um, but yeah, announced it and just saying like I'm just gonna move on. Maybe come back to WWE. Who knows? Um, but yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Congratulations to Samantha and Ricochet. They got married yesterday. I don't know why they said today, but it ended up being yesterday, especially like where they was at. So it looked like it was like a last night type of thing. But yeah, so congratulations to them. Let's see. Okay, okay. All they talk about is yesterday's Dynamite and NXT, and but yeah, those were just like the main like wrestling news that everybody was talking about, and just wanted to like share my feelings and stuff on that, and just seeing if there's anything else we miss. And hmm, well, basically, not much. I wasn't at the Chris Bay celebration they did. I think it was like somewhere in New York, I believe they done it. Not sure, but yeah, I have a lot of stars, from like current and some like this like in Independence right now. So seems like they did good, and glad came up with something like that. Of course, y'all know what happened to him in late last year with the incident that he had with when he had that tag team match. And I think it was a ladder match, I believe, for the tag team titles, and he ended up doing the move and ended up just like landing wrong. But yeah, yeah, there's really yeah, it's really
Mindy.
oh, okay. Cain Velasquez, which also was a former UFC star. Okay. Oh, he's been in prison for like mainly it seems like 3 years after his arrest. So he's going. They sentenced him to 5 years in prison for attempted murder. So they probably gonna credit them the 3 years that he was in locked up. So he's probably gonna end up staying in there for like what? Yeah, 2 more years. So kind of a tough break for him because it could have been worse. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, this we just gonna end it from there, and ain't much like huge things to talk about, but only those subjects. Um, but one thing wrestling wise we can talk about before we move on. Um, no, that's not it. That's not it either. There we go. Some of y'all probably know Linda Hogan had put up a video about things that's going on. Calling out Hulk Hogan, saying he's a liar, and haven't seen like any of her haven't seen Brooke in what was it 8 years? They said something like that. I think so. And also, yeah, they well, she said her kids, so it's probably including Nick too. So then again, with his troubles, with what happened to him, that he ran over a guy that's now like automatically paralyzed. I think yeah, he's paralyzed from the neck down. So yeah, all that going on, and I guess she was complaining that it seems like she's more of a mess and all that other stuff. But I guess if y'all seen the video, what's y'all opinion about it? I did show Hazel the video, and
What of?
Linda Hogan.
I watched it before you even
Oh,
showed
sorry.
it to
Oh,
me.
sorry. Yeah, you. Yeah, you
And
did.
my thing is this. I'm not going to defend Hogan in any way, okay? Because he did wrong. He did his whole fucking family wrong.
Mm-hmm.
With his controlling, with his attitude, with his fucking around with his wrestling buddies' wives and girlfriends and stuff while he was married. Was Linda in the wrong for what she did by going off with an 18-year-old kid and all that lot? Absolutely. Absolutely. They were both at fault. What I feel, though, in regards to Linda right now, is that she is seeing the possible money that is coming in from Hogan with his beer.
Yeah.
Because it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he's sponsoring certain wrestling things and all of this lot, says she wants a piece of the pie. Do I believe the validity of what she's saying? Yeah, absolutely. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there is something really, let's be honest, for a daughter to step away from her father and her mother, shit went down.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that Hogan was controlling over Brooke.
Especially if y'all saw, the shows Hogan Knows Best and
Yeah. She
Brooke
was
Knows
a
Best.
grown woman going out having a good time, and he's grabbing her and saying, "Where you been? Where you been?" Pulling at her. And if you remember, there was the one episode, and it's always played in my mind where he's grabbing at her and pulling her, and her dress is like falling,
Mm-hmm.
and she's trying to pull it up and pull away from him. And I think the control he had over her was a very similar control to what he had over Linda as well. And I think that since she's gotten married and had kids and got her own family, she's actually seen how you should be treated by somebody
Mm-hmm.
and how your father should treat you, and how, she's probably seeing how her husband is treating these kids. And is like, I never had that. You know what I mean? I'm not
Right.
saying that Hogan doesn't love his kids. I'm not saying that at all.
Right.
Because I do believe that he does, but I just feel that he is such a control freak that, all the while that she was doing what he said and what he wanted, everything was fine. And then as soon as she had a little bit of pushback and wanted to do her own thing, get on with her own life and all of that lot. As far as the son, I've never liked him. I thought he was a piece of shit back then. He was a piece of shit after the accident. And he's as bad as his father, to be perfectly honest.
Right.
He's an arrogant little cocksucker, and I dislike him immensely. Does it notice? But I think she's trying to capitalize in on money right now. And more power to her. If she can get money, go for it. But we've said this before with exes of people, and especially with the female exes of famous people. Men are held to a whole different tier of, level of thing. It's okay for men to go around fucking everybody who they want because that's what men do.
Right.
And it's okay. Hold on a second.
Oh, that's fine.
And, there's a whole level of, this, that, and the other when it comes to men. It's the good old boys club. Because let's be honest, you go off and cheat on me and say fuck around with all these women, most of the guys are going to pat you on the back, go, that's my boy, yeah, well done, like this. I do it. She's a whore, she's a hoe, what a slut, and all this lot. She had to keep her legs open, I bet her pussy's loose as fuck, all this lot.
Right.
So there's that double standard. But, as I say, we've seen in the past that she is money-orientated. She's very much money-orientated.
Right.
And I think some of that's what it is. I think she's having a mental break, but, it's money-orientated.
And, the comments I did see, on here while I was looking through, like, a different group. Okay, some of them don't feel bad for her, and that's one thing. But saying like there's some like misinformation that some people like putting out there that you want to wait with an 18-year-old, so you got what you deserve.
The fact of it is, do I agree that she should have gone with an 18-year-old who was her daughter's schoolmate? No, I don't. That to me was a bit like ew.
Right.
But, but then when you're not given the love that you feel you deserve, you know what I mean? When you're not given that love that you feel that you deserve and you want and everything, and somebody gives it to you, you gravitate to it.
Right.
Now, she should have known better. It was somebody who her kids went to school with. She should have known better. But it's one of those things where she wasn't getting what she wanted at home. She went elsewhere. She should have gone elsewhere with a guy perhaps closer to her own age. But then there's that double standard again. If Hulk Hogan had done it, yeah, he got himself a young girl like this. So
which he is married to a woman that's a lady that's half his age anyway.
Young enough to be his daughter.
Oh yeah, yep.
So
yeah, I had forgot her age, but yeah.
But if she's half his age, he's old enough to be her father.
Right. It's just insane, and I think I'm just upset with some of the people with some of the comments they made, like saying that okay she did it first and all that stuff, and like read like too much misinformation. It was actually him that cheated first, and this was during their marriage, and I know some people, people that knows the truth are like surprised, that she was still with him at that time. And for people that need proof, look for the Hulk Hogan sex tape. And y'all know his former friend Bubba the Love Sponge. They went to court over that incident too. So yeah, so there's proof out there. So I'm just saying, some of y'all that that like Hulk Hogan supporters, if you are, fine, but
well, as I
for
say,
some of y'all,
my thing is that they're both wrong.
Yeah.
They're both wrong. They're both horrible people at the end of the day.
Right.
And they're both capitalizing in on Hogan's fame.
Mm-hmm.
But the fans spoke when Hogan came back.
Yeah, they did.
There wasn't enough people there who liked him to support him. The only thing that made me feel bad was poor Jimmy Hart was standing there waving a flag in the midst of these boos when he deserved his props to be cheered.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's true. You only can feel bad for Jimmy Hart, but and after everybody did in the building did boo Hulk Hogan, then you have some of these like other people like, why y'all booing him? Well, besides what he done and what's proof that's on on his shows that what he done to his family, and it's like, okay, like some of y'all will probably like give him a pass or whatnot. So y'all thinking like, okay, that's a long time ago, move on. But adding I guess what Brooke was dating a black guy at the time. So you have a guy that said the N word, and some of y'all just saying like, oh, move on. As a black man, it hurts. And I know people was talking about, no, why you bringing back slavery? Why you bring back slavery times? Because it's part of history, and it's gonna forever be part of history, and everybody still to this day is gonna talk about it because some of that racism is still going on today. And it's like people just try to sweep it under the rug and think it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, I thought we had grown up by now, but it seems like we haven't. And, that's a sad thing. And like here in Milwaukee, we're like the most segregated city. And I'm surprised, the mayor, hasn't touched on that subject. I know he's like trying to like make, the city better and stuff like that, but you got to tackle on some of the issues as well with being segregated. Then now you got these things that people don't have to hire you if you try to apply for a job. They could, they're okay to discriminate, or if you have like a record or whatever, they can be like, no, we're not hiring this guy. Because as of lately, I've been to a whole bunch of interviews within the matter of 2 months, and still didn't get hired. But it's probably because got a felony, but I'm not going to mention what it is because it's not everybody's business. Only the people that know that should know. So that's them. But yeah, with people just being, so one sided and that's why criminals end up doing what they doing. Because it's like, ain't nobody gonna give me a chance to give me a job or whatever. So what's the point of it's like what's the point of me trying to get a job and it looks like nobody don't want to hire me to work. It's like for some, criminals, they be like, you know what, might as well do the same thing as I did when I got locked up for because ain't nobody hiring me because they just gonna look at my record and just turn away. So yeah, as a black man, it is hard for some of us to get a job. But there are some people that they had no excuse and they should look for work. But for everybody else, especially like that have felonies and either they got like a criminal record, they get turned away, and it's just sad that you gotta do these jobs that you have to require like something like anybody can be work for DoorDash or Uber or stuff like that, but you gotta have a car, you gotta have insurance. So there's stipulations on certain these jobs that you can work through, like here on YouTube, for example. Like you gotta get like certain subscribers before you get paid. So and and I guess they thinking like you probably can get subscribers just like that. That's not the case. Although they had like tips on here, try to get subscribers and stuff like that. No, that doesn't always work. Especially today and age with some of these youngins that's out there today. Um, today's youth. I'm not saying all of them. I'm just gonna say most of them because most of today's youth have a attention span of a I ain't gonna say a 2 year old because my grandson's a two and has some better sense than all these other youngins. But let's just say they got attention span as a baby. I'll just say it like that. Must for one thing for like a minute, then go to the next. So yeah, it just sucks. And like what this like I know this don't have nothing to do with Linda and Hulk Hogan situation, but it has to a certain point because of people like choosing sides and they don't know the whole like story, or you have some of these people that just blind that that celebrities can't do anything wrong. So it's just it's just upsetting, and sometimes it's just crazy. And the youth is like another different story. But you know what? We're just gonna move on from this because there's gonna be a different subject for a different time. Excuse me. So one thing we're gonna talk about before we end the show. Uh, as I think you were excited about some of the casting announcements that they made for Avengers Doomsday.
I'm really happy that X-Men are a major part of it because I like the Avengers movies. Don't get me wrong, but my X-Men.
Yeah.
Hello, give me my X-Men, people. So I was really glad to, especially Beast. Beast is my favorite. Chef's kiss, mwah, to Beast. I love him, love him, love him, and I love both actors who've played him. Kelsey Grammer played him like spectacularly,
Mm-hmm.
and so did the other dude.
Oh,
I
Nicholas Holt,
yeah,
who's now playing Lex Luthor in Superman.
right. And so they were just great, absolutely great.
So, of course, Marvel did a thing on Tuesday. They did a video where like they were gonna no, it was Wednesday. I'm sorry, yesterday. So, what they did was they said 10 to 15 minutes, and I do believe it was. They start with showing like the announcement of like who's going to be in Avengers Doomsday. So they had like chairs that they go to, and I think you shouldn't take no freaking 5 hours, over 5 hours, to do all these introductions. People got things to do. Only saw like maybe like quarter of it. Then I'm like, there's things I gotta do. Bye. So I was just like, forget it. I'm just gonna wait till the full cast was announced online, or somebody was gonna report it. No party deadline was gonna report it. Comicbook.com is reporting it. So, and other YouTubers are reporting it. So it's like, what's the point of me sitting there for like over 5 hours for the full cast announcement? But I did like the one part that they move up, they move to the next. It was like a blank screen, then they went down and. Well, you already know one person confirmed, and that's Paul Rudd. So Ant-Man will be there. So hopefully let me see, they got the full list. Okay, yeah, every MCU actor confirmed for Avengers so far. So Chris Hemsworth, which was Thor, and I think he was the first one that they showed chair-wise. Vanessa Kirby, who plays Sue Storm in the upcoming Fantastic Four movie, which is coming out in late July. Um, Anthony Mackie, the new Captain America. The recently like his movie came out and with Captain America: Brave New World, and it's still out. And I do want to catch it before it runs out
Coming
of
up.
theaters. So hopefully it'll make his threshold breaking even, because right now Captain America: Brave New World has made gross 400 million. So people saying they gotta at least get like the 40 million from that to break even or make a little bit of profit. So probably will show my support before it's over. So I'm gonna
Stop.
try to manage to see it next Tuesday, just whenever. So we'll see. Um,
Stop.
of course, Sebastian Stan, who plays Bucky Barnes, aka Winter Soldier, he was announced. Loretta Wright. I'm sorry if I say her first name wrong. Of course, Shuri, the the woman version of the Black Panther. She's gonna be in it. So, and somebody pointed out that you gotta have Wakanda in this if gonna have like a something Avenger wise like that. So that makes sense. And then we just mentioned Paul Rudd that's gonna be playing Scott Lang and Ant Man. Well, right, Russell, who was John Walker, if y'all saw the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the upcoming Thunderbolts movie that will be out, ooh, less than 5 weeks away, I believe. So, yeah, that's coming up in May 2nd. Um, I'm sorry if I say his name wrong. Tonight, Hiruta Mincha, who's playing Namor. If y'all recognize his character, he was on Black Panther 2, where Black Panther Wakanda forever. So that's familiar. I didn't know this name be bomb also Batchranch, so I was kind of lost when I saw that. I was like, who? Like, oh, he's playing in the upcoming Fantastic Four. Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. Shunju Lee, also who plays Shang-Chi. He's gonna be in it. I know the last time y'all probably saw him, he was on his first movie, Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. And haven't been much in the spotlight since, but yeah, that's crazy. Florence Pugh, y'all remember her from Black Widow, that is Natasha Romanoff's sister, Yelena Belova, sorry, aka the second Black Widow. And of course, she already mentioned his name, Chelsea Grammer. Of course, Hank McCoy, also known as Beast, would be in it, and it kind of makes sense because of what they did in the Marvels,
Right.
the end credit scene. So that makes sense. But I think some of us wasn't even thinking because who knows where Marvel was going to go, like what direction. So anything gonna happen, or possibly they probably would have saved him for like Secret Wars or something. So, anyways, yeah, Beast is gonna be in it. Lewis Pullman, who's on the upcoming Thunderbolts, who plays Bob, aka the Century. So, I guess y'all gonna see more of him when y'all see the Thunderbolts movie this coming May. Denny Rivera, of course, who played Drop Torres, also known as the New Falcon. Y'all saw him in Captain America: Brave New World, and also on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Joseph Quinn, who plays Johnny Storm, aka Human Torch. That's gonna be on the upcoming Fantastic Four: First Steps in July. David Harbour, Alexio Tavox, aka Red Guardian. Of course, y'all familiar with him. He was on started out on the Black Widow movie, then gonna be on the upcoming Thunderbolts as well. Winston Duke, Baku, and when I say something, she's gonna know who I'm talking about. You bald-headed demon.
The best line! You bald headed demon. It was just the way that he said it.
It looked like he was saying it like he was mad though.
Oh, it was the way he's like, you bald headed demon. Shook his head. Oh, it was great.
So of course he was in both Black Panther movies and the last two Avengers as well. Hannah John Craven, she played Ava Starr, aka Ghost. Y'all know her from Ant-Man and the Wasp. And she's also going to be on the upcoming Thunderbolts movie as well. Tom Hiddleston, of course, you know him as Loki, so been there since the beginning. You might as well say been there since, Thor 1. Of course, I know she's happy about this one. Patrick Stewart plays Charles Xavier, aka Professor X. So this will probably be one of the shocking. Well, this one is a little bit of a shock, but not really that much of a surprise. So he'll be on there. Ivan Kennellan, Eric Lanster, aka Magneto. He's gonna be on there. So I think that one was like one of the few big surprises on there. But yeah, y'all familiar him with the X-Men franchise. The I would say the very first movie franchise of X-Men, and also yeah, the last movie he was in when it came to the X-Men Marvel type was Days of Future Past, and also you got Alan Cumming played Kurt Warner, aka Nightcrawler, in X2, X-Men United. Then they haven't brung him then since. So you blame Fox for that, for not like bringing him in like on X-Men: The Last Stand or something like that. So that was Fox messed up on that one. Also another returning Rebecca Romaine, who played Raven, aka Mystique. The very mother said the very first Mystique. So she been all the three franchises of the X-Men. No, three of the movies I should say, not franchise, but all three of the movies. The first three X-Men. So that's interesting. Another surprise. Jay Marston. Some people call him Donut Man, but then again they call him that on the Sonic franchise. He returned his role in Scott Summers, aka Cyclops. wasn't all three of the first three X-Men movies. And I know some people were upset, didn't know that he got killed off, and y'all probably already know why. Oh, I mean, not why, but like what happened with that scene, which is, I agree with some people. It's like they didn't need to do that, but I guess they try to make it at that time as watching it, like try to make it, not all characters are gonna be safe. Um, Channing Tatum, is gonna return as Remy LeBeau, aka Gambit. He was awesome on Deadpool and Wolverine, so we will see him back.
And I think he deserves his time because he was, slated to play that character for the longest time,
Mm-hmm.
and now he gets to play it with the Avengers. And I
Right.
think, he's got to put his heart and soul into it and just pull it out hit it out the ballpark.
Right, and done very good as him in Deadpool Wolverine, and I think he's gonna do a great job with
Yep.
these next ones. Now I think he's gonna be on the Secret Wars as well. So
Well, and the thing is, we saw that little taster of him as Gambit.
mm-hmm.
So being able to say, okay, well, this is what we are expecting, and wow, holy shit, we got more, is,
Right.
yeah.
It'd be like that thing like on Endgame. Is that all of them? Were you expecting more?
Expected more? Tell me that when the people were doing the joking ones of that, where you had the Terminator and Predator, and everybody, Superman, all that lot coming,
Yeah,
it was just
that was
funny.
great. Oh, hey, no, what's going on? Pedro Pascal, who's playing Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, will be on the upcoming Fantastic Four movie this July. So yeah, we saw Brave New World, and we got two more movies to go. Well, movie wise for Marvel. And of course, this was the first announcement they did ever since they changed the name to Avengers Doomsday. Is the guy that's going to play Doctor Doom himself, Robert Downey Jr., who was
That's gonna be interesting.
right, who was Iron Man, the movie that started it all of the MCU. And there's just rumors out there that saying he could is not is he's like some mixed up like Tony Stark was actually was Doctor Doom in the first place, so it was just some messed up story
Right.
that was like they said in the comics that happened. But right now it's just like a wait and see. So I'm impressed with this lineup, and there was other news that this lineup of characters and people that's gonna be in it is not done.
Right.
And it caught and that just got me thinking for a second, like oh yeah, because they said it was supposed to be over 50 characters that was gonna be in this movie anyway. So this is just a little bit more than half of them. So
And you gotta remember, just because they're naming these people doesn't mean they're going to be on the right side, like the Avengers side.
right.
Because we already know that with a lot of different things and timelines and stuff, people are there, but not there, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
It's like because like they mentioned, Doctor Doom is gonna end up creating the team. Now I think they're gonna do like the Dentos route, but he thinks that he's the like saving everything. He's like actually a villain, but supposed to be like a hero in his point of view. So there's just a lot more stuff to talk about with the story that they got so far, but they probably ain't gonna say everything. And they did start production yesterday, so a little bit earlier than they mentioned, because they was talking about they were gonna start doing everything like next week. So they started everything this week, so should be interesting and see how it goes. So they're gonna be shooting in London, I think all of London. Normally they do their studios and stuff in like Atlanta, but I guess they decided to just do it in London. But then again, they had to spend more money, so that's probably why they did it in the UK. So yeah, we know this the cast ain't over, so we don't know when they're gonna announce the next one, or they just gonna keep it as a surprise when the movie comes out. So yeah, one more thing gonna read before we end the show. So let's go back that way and let's see. Let's see. Where was it? So yeah, of course, they tease that more of them are coming. Like I said, and so it's a official Marvel Studios account replied to Downey's, because yeah, he said something the likes of a deep bench of talent, which he said that's a great talent that we had. Then Marvel had replied that there will be more.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it should be interesting. It's probably gonna be these two Avengers. Probably gonna be the two biggest Avengers movie they've done so far. So even if they do more Avengers movies, like how they gonna outdo themselves? But then again, with the multiverse and stuff and all the situations and stuff, like certain comic books say, so who knows what's gonna happen? So I'm just gonna be the wait and see, like, because I know they got Secret Wars is gonna come out in 2027, but I know there's like a couple of comic books, like they got the early version of it that was like in the 80s of Secret Wars. Then they got I do got that free comic book of the Secret Wars, so that's that. And they got the 2015 latest of the Secret Wars. So I think the Russo brothers was saying they probably gonna take like some elements of both.
Well, there's so many ways it could be done. It's
Exactly.
just one of those things that we're gonna have to go wait and see. And also, what we've told people a million and millions of times: go in with an open mind. So many people, it needs to be this way, and this way, and it's like, hold on, but you've got to remember there's alternate universes, there's alternate civilizations, there's all these different storylines and
dimensions
everything,
too,
and dimensions. There, you can't just follow one thing and think that's gonna be it.
Right, because if they follow like every single thing on a comic book, it's going to be spoiled. It's like, what's the point of coming? Like, I could just read from the comic book and that's it.
But not just that. It's like, because if you go via the comic books, then you've got to understand that there's different dimensions and different places and stuff. So there's no way. It's not just one series. Is
that's
what
right.
I'm getting at. It's
not
like
I understand.
You're following, say, the Christopher Reeves version of Superman.
Right.
Because if that's all you're following, then you're not going to watch anything else.
Right. Or read anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a good point by her, and it does make sense. But
because we went in when we saw the Joker.
Right.
We went in with an open mind, and we both thought the first Joker was absolutely brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And then other people, well, that's not how the Joker was. No, it's a different storyline.
Yeah, different dimension.
It's a different dimension.
Multiverse.
Yeah. Not every Joker is Jack Nicholson or Jared Leto.
Right. Or Heath Ledger.
I mean, Heath Ledger knocked it out of the ballpark. He made the Joker his own, let's be honest. And sadly, his death is the reason we didn't get more with him as Joker.
Right.
Because I think he would have created, that soul. I mean, he already made it his own. It would have been even better.
Right.
But, you've got to think about this as well. Christopher Reeves as Superman is Gen X Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Every generation is allowed their own superheroes.
Exactly.
And yeah, there are times when I've watched some things where I'm like, no, and then it's like, hold on, this is made for a different generation.
Right.
And you have to step forward and be like, okay, let's watch it with an open mind and go forward. And then when you watch it again, you're like, you know what? They weren't half bad.
Hey, Michael.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, just go in open minded and think about this as, you know, episode one, season, whatever it is,
Right.
and go from there. Because if you can put up with a multiverse, if you can put up with different Supermans that we've had, and different X-Men, and different Avengers, and all of this lot,
Right.
then you can deal with it. You can deal with it.
Exactly. It's not the end of the world.
It
So,
really isn't. And
yep.
get over your biases in regards to certain characters having to be a certain race
Exactly. That's the.
or a certain thing, because was Captain America was based on an ideal of making the ultimate soldier.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't based on being a white man. He was based on being the ultimate soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw what happened when Timu version of Captain America came into play.
Oh, the who ended up becoming U.S. agent. I know what you're
Yeah.
saying. But sharks, yes.
And if you don't like it, go read the fucking comic books and see where the transfer over is.
Right. It's
And
like.
if you don't like that, kiss my big fat ass. I'm done.
So it's just mainly like, you know, I won't say the world has totally evolved, but like how we look at certain things today has evolved. You can just put it that way. Um, but yeah, I can't wait till they make another set of announcements. I think they probably gonna end up doing. Okay, for y'all that that this is the actual conversation. So Robert Downey Jr. said that's what you call a deep bench of talent. Actually, it's more like a robe, but extra long one. That must be it, right? Then you got Marvel Studios saying there's always room for more. So they're gonna have more, and plus, what they were saying, a long time ago. They're gonna have over 50 characters. So they're gonna have, there's still like some people there's still some characters that's still in the MCU that they're gonna add, and I think they still, writing some stuff. But I don't think the script is completely finished. But just from other scoopers said, they done movies before that the script isn't completely done. So we'll see. And sometimes they improv their scenes like the actors do. So get some of them like free range. Yeah, why not? And just make it their own. So it makes sense. So yeah, it's like if people do something like what the same character did and don't do anything different, it's like you just copy from this character. Some people ain't gonna like it. Some people will. So like I said, y'all rewatch some of these Marvel and DC comic movies and stuff like that, and go in there with an open mind. Although majority of the people, well, now I wouldn't say majority, like half of the people didn't like the DCU, well, DCEU. I mean, I did. It's the only thing that sucks that they ain't had the idea with Marvel like to do like TV series for like the for the DCEU. So I think that's was the only problem, in my opinion. But though every single one of those movies that's been out for DCEU was great. But people have the right to their opinion. So what more can you say? So thanks guys. We're gonna get out of here. I appreciate y'all, watching and listening. You guys that's watching on Twitch, I appreciate you guys like watching. Thank you. Please, follow us on here. We do like live content like almost every day. So maybe something that tickle your fancy, like maybe talking about wrestling, talking about what we just talking about, comic book movies and TV news, developments in Milwaukee, and I think I did mention wrestling, but also Milwaukee Bucks. So you guys had to want to be on I was gonna say Spotify, but we are on Spotify too. So we got like some interviews and stuff that we done as of late. So check out Wrestling Fans Speak Out Spotify channel. So well, I would say on podcast. So go ahead and listen in. Um, and you guys that's watching on YouTube live or watching this pre-recorded episode. We appreciate you guys supporting us from day one, ever since WFSO got started 16 years ago, and we've been on YouTube like at least like a month longer than our initial start with WFSO. So one of the longest running channels on YouTube. Um, which one?
Rogue.
Oh, the roll cut.
Your fault.
My fault. Okay.
You have been talking about it. I wouldn't want to watch it.
Good point.
But it's been a while, so.
Yeah, it has been a
And
while.
this is my favorite X-Men, so.
It seemed like that was everybody's favorite one, Days of Future Past.
Well, the road cut of it is my favorite.
Right. Because, the roll cut got like, more extended scenes and stuff like that.
Wolverine getting thrown by Beast is absolutely hilarious.
But anyways, please subscribe to the channel and appreciate the likes that we got today. So thank you. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so hopefully we can get there. Without Joe guys' support, it would be no us. So please subscribe and support the channel. I beg of you. And don't forget, we giving away this tomorrow. So, the question is for anybody that want, Milwaukee Bucks keychain. That's right here. So, the question is that, how many points you think Kyle Kuzma is going to score on tomorrow's game against the Knicks? So, y'all can comment below on this video and last 3 videos that was done. So y'all just comment below and just say like a number and something like that. Whoever is the closest or whoever the first one that was exactly right will win the keychain, and we will mail it and ship it to you and give you like all the information after you win, and we will go from there. Also, over 2,500 videos and counting. Check those videos out. There may be some stuff you like. Oh wow. WFSO Top 10 is coming back. So that's going to start this Monday. So watch out for that. And of course, WFSO Exclusive will be back in the summer. We're thinking somewhere around August or late July, one of the two. But we ain't going to make it official until sometime, before summer starts. So like somewhere around early June, we'll probably make a full announcement on that. But check out the website wrestlingfanspeakout.weebly.com. Upcoming events in the Midwest. Also, events that we took photos of, wrestling events and also Bucks events. Also we talk about the meet and greet. That's gonna be August 1st. So there's more information on that. So get a chance, check it out on the website as well. And, follow the musical wrestlers and Bucks players as well. And we're going to do a merchandise store, so it's probably going to be up in the summer. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Until the next video, you guys have a good night and see you later. Let's see. Take that off and... Goodbye, everybody.